Welcome to the tutorial on power amplifiers and output stages. So here we will try to answer the following questions as to what is an amplifier, the types of amplifiers, the features of large signal, and how to categorize amplifiers. An amplifier receives a signal from the input source and provides a larger version of the signal to the output. For example, an input signal from a cassette or a CD input needs to be amplified sufficiently in order to operate an output device such as a speaker or other power handling device. Amplifiers can be classified into two types, the small signal and the large signal amplifiers. In small signal amplifiers, the main factors are amplification, linearity, and the magnitude of gain, while the power handling capacity and power efficiency are of little concern because the input current and the voltage are very small in the small signal amplifiers. One good example is the voltage amplifier, which is primarily used to amplify the voltage of the input signal. Coming to the large signal or the power amplifiers, which we are basically discussing here, the main approach is to provide the sufficient power to an output load to drive a speaker or an other power device. So it basically converts from few watts of power to tens of watts of output power. So in the case of large signal amplifiers, we concentrate on amplifiers that can handle large voltage signal at moderate to high current levels. And the main features of large signal are circuits, power efficiency, maximum power that the circuit is capable of handling, and the impedance matching to the output device. One method to categorize amplifiers is by class, and class represents the amount the output signal varies over one cycle of operation for a full cycle of input signal. So we can classify the power amplifiers based on the quiescent point on the DC load line as class A, class B, class AB, class C, and there is another class of power amplifiers which is called as the class D amplifiers, which is designed to operate with digital or pulse type signal. So let us look into each of the classes individually. So the first one, that is the class A power amplifier. Here the Q point is located at the center of the load line. So the output signal will vary over the full cycle of the input signal. So in the class A, the transistor will conduct during the whole cycle of the sinusoidal input signal, and the waveform for the output current IC that is obtained is a complete 360-degree waveform. So as you can see, the quiescent point is exactly located at the center, and this becomes the bias point, which is represented as ICQ. Whereas in the class B, the Q point is located at the cutoff, so the output signal will vary only for one half of the input signal. And the transistor, because it lies in the cutoff region, the transistor will conduct only during one half of the input signal. So you can observe that the output current waveform, that is the collector current waveform, is only for one half of the cycle, that is 180 degree. Now if we are going to make use of two class B operations, one to provide an output on the positive half cycle and another to provide operation on the negative output half cycle, then the combined half cycles can provide an output of full 360 degree, and this type of combination is usually called as the push-pull configuration that we will see when we deal in detail with the class B amplifiers. Now the third classification, that is the class AB amplifiers. In this, the transistor conducts slightly more than half a cycle of the input signal. The class AB amplifiers is basically a combination of class A and class B That is why the name class AB amplifiers. What we have seen in the class B is that the Q point is in the cutoff. So the transistor will be at zero bias that we have seen here. In the class A, the Q point is located in the center, whereas in the class B, it is located in between the center and in between the cutoff. So the Q point is in between the center and between the zero bias. That is why, as you can see in the waveform for the output collector current, the ICQ is little above the zero bias and it is not located at the center point. So the output waveform that you observe will have some amount of distortion, which is called as the crossover distortion. Now coming to the last type of classification, that is class C, and here the transistor will conduct for less than half a cycle of the input signal. So here the transistor is biased below the cutoff and the transistor will operate in the active region and the current will flow only for the input voltage Vi, which is greater than VBB plus the cut-in voltage of the base emitter junction. So because the output current flows for less than 1/2 of the input signal, the full cycle of the input is obtained at the output by the use of the tuned circuit at the collector. Therefore, what we can say about the class C is that it can be used in special areas of tuned circuit such as radio or communication. That is because we can obtain the full cycle of the input at the output by using tuned circuit at the collector terminal. As mentioned earlier, there is another classification, that is class D, which uses pulse signals or the digital signals which are on for a short interval and off for a longer interval, which is a major advantage. And these class D power amplifiers make use of the digital techniques to obtain a signal that varies over a full cycle to create an output waveform from many pieces of the input signal. So this is mainly regarding the classification of the output stages, or I can say the classification of power amplifiers. Now coming to the last part, that is the comparison of power amplifier classes. Mainly we classify the amplifier classes as class A, AB, B and C based upon the operating cycle and the power efficiency. And the power efficiency is computed for an amplifier to be equal to the ratio of power output by power input. And this efficiency basically improves as you move from class A to class D. When you look at the class A, it has an operating cycle of 360 degree, but the power efficiency is between 25 to 50%, whereas class AB has an operating cycle of 180 to 360 degree and its efficiency varies from 25 to 78.5%, whereas class B has an operating cycle of 180 degree and its efficiency is 78.5%. Class C has an operating cycle which is less than 180 degree, and here we do not basically compute the efficiency. And the another class which I had mentioned, that is the class D, is meant for pulse operation and can have an efficiency greater than 90%. Now these efficiency calculations, whatever we have done, are theoretical values, but practically you will always have, or you will always obtain a value at least 10% lower than the theoretical value.